So anyways, I wanted to do this video on the new Xbox reveal. The new Xbox system is called Xbox One. I guess that's supposed to be like a classy name for it and so forth. Whatever, you know, I guess that works out for them. I hope people don't confuse it with, like, you know, the regular Xbox, the original, etc. It's a lot better than Xbox 720, though, I'll tell you that, if they would have went with that. So here's a few of my points that I'm going to go over that are positives and negatives about it that are currently known. First of all, the big negative to me, the big one, is that you now have to have mandatory installation of any games you play on the system. And if you want to play those games on a friend's Xbox One, you have to pay a fee to get it installed on their system, because it would effectively be like they'd be buying it but without the disc. Now, I have a problem with this because I grew up in the era of renting games and bringing games to your friends' houses and so forth, and I think that they're going to lose money in the long run because you essentially... Okay, let's take it like this way. Let's say I buy a game, right? And I get bored of that game, you know? So I want to sell it to some sort of used game place, get back 10 or so bucks, and then I can put that towards getting another game. In the economy that we're in America specifically, where the economy is just really, really bad, you know, the last thing that you want people to do is feel totally locked into buying a purchase. Not to mention that they can't even bring it over to their friend's house to play it, you know. It's going to basically kill a lot of, like, the social aspect. It's either everybody has to come over to person A's house just to play this one game, or, you know, not. I don't know why they're doing this. I guess they're afraid of losing that $10 or so per game or whatever else, you know, to sell it back. I don't, again, really know why, but I think it's a terrible business move, and it's basically going to make people not want to buy games as frequently. It's going to make sure they're really, really, really having to be absolutely assured about what they're buying before they jump in, so to speak. So now, as for a positive, apparently Kinect is built into the system, as well as voice commands, which would allow for, you know, that next step up in being able to have voice commands built into games and Kinect, you know, functionality built into games. So that's a positive. I do like that. Apparently the technology is also a step up too, with a higher sensitivity of movements. It's able to pick up more joints and so forth, you know, in a person's movement. So that's a positive. The next thing could go positive or negative. It's basically a technology that's similar to Windows 8, where, let's say, they used it in reference to the NFL. Apparently, they've got a partnership with the NFL now, of all things. And so basically, you could be like watching a football game, and you can, you know, like have the stats on the side, and you can like snap these windows in different places and so forth. I forget the exact name of it, but you know, it's basically technology that allows you to have different frames within the console. You can like watch a movie and have another frame doing something else and have something else doing something else, you know. So it's almost like a computer in that way. So that could go either way. That could go really useful or really overbearing, and programs try way too hard to like fit it in there, you know, type thing. As far as the actual design of the console, it's made to look almost like a DVD player. It's very just, you know, a curved rectangle. It's not really trying to stand out. It's trying to be real fancy, and I guess that fits with like the name, you know, the Xbox One. It is V1, you know, stuff like that. So again, could go either way on that. At least it's not like a gargantuan thing like the Xbox One was, you know. So, or the X. See, I'm even saying now the original Xbox. You know, people are going to confuse that name. Now, as far as a big negative, there's no backwards compatibility. So all those games you bought for the 360, right out the window. They might have something similar to what they had on Xbox 360, where you could play the Xbox One games through buying them online. But again, more money. If you already bought those games, good luck. Now, what I think would be neat is if there was a code that you could put in that would allow you to play those games for free on your new Xbox One console if you could prove you had the original disc. I think that would be the way to go. The final thing that I find to be a negative, but really I'm going to admit this is probably only a negative for some people, is that the friends list still has a cap, and the cap is 1,000 people. Now, I realize that this is a number that most people, if you're just casually playing with friends or whatever else, are not going to reach. But it does suck for, you know, like my case, where there's people that want to add me, and then I reach that cap, and then I can't add any more people. And that was a really big problem on the original Xbox when the cap was a lot lower, and I'd have to regularly, you know, like take people off my list every like 3 to 4 days. Like I was, you know, getting something like 50 to 100 requests a week at least. More like probably like 200 or 300 back during the Rock Band time and stuff like that. And you know, I don't. My main point is more, why is there a cap? I mean, how many kilobytes of space does it take up for a friends list? To have a text list is probably what it's built off of, or something very similar that just says person A on list, give permissions to have their info on there and to message them. Person B, person C. Why is there a cap on this? Like, this cannot take up more than like at most 5 to 6 megs of data on there. And if it takes up more than that, then they're doing it wrong. They're coding it wrong. Because I know that friends lists on many other programs take up mere kilobytes of space for hundreds, if not thousands, of people. So I don't know why there's a cap on that at all, but maybe it's to prevent some sort of like botting thing. I don't know. Maybe there's like a bot thing you can do where you can add, you know, like 50,000 people and, hey guys, fucking free code or something like that, and it's like totally fake. You know, I mean, that's my best guess, but you know, whatever. Tomorrow I'm going to have a video on the new Call of Duty game and how revolutionary it is, and the dog hole, and the new abilities that have never been seen in FPS games before, like vaulting over objects and leaning around the corner of a building, and most of all, sliding, a new technology that's never before been seen. Oh, they're pushing the bar with this one, guys.